melt, French patty, French something. One bite. Everybody knows the rules. Nice. Looks good. That's sketchy. Oh, it's just a bank. It used to be a bank. Hey, what's up guys? My name is Sal and this is another expedition log. In this episode, we'll be visiting a mall that, from the outside, looks deceptively lackluster. But when you look past its veneer and peel back layers of time, the mall reveals itself to be a truly fantastic location with some rather sordid history. As always, I'm cheering all of you on all day and wishing you all the best health, wealth, and happiness. I would also appreciate it if those of you who haven't subscribed yet would just take a moment to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to get notified of my future content. I've got some really amazing content lined up, so please stay tuned here and to my social media on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Discord. Links for everything are all down below. Today, I'd like you all to come take a walk with me through the Harford Mall in Bel Air, Maryland. But first, a word from our sponsors. Captain Chesapeake and a spot from 1989 when the Friendly restaurant chain became colloquially known as Friendly's. Enjoy.
WBFF TV Baltimore, Television 45.
A shipwrecked sailor found himself in a plight. Lost at sea, he was really a sight. He swam and swam till he thought he'd die, when a wondrous sight appeared to his eye. A derelict boat that saved his life and put an end to his watery strife. He met a strange friend in the Chesapeake Bay when Mondy the monster came along one day. There's excitement aplenty, their lives never dull, as they sail toward fun aboard the television hull.
Ahoy, crew members! Welcome aboard. Good to see you. Well, I have a visit from a lot of our friends this afternoon. They're going to be around with us, and all in all, it should be a great day. And I think we should start the fun right now.
He said we gotta go to Friendly's.
Kids invent reasons to visit Friendly's.
Because I walk the dog?
But here's one from Mom and Dad. The $1.99 Kids Meal Deal.
The cat?
Any one of 5 complete sit-down meals with fries, drink, and famous Friendly's sundae. A real meal for an unreal $1.99. Here's another reason.
It's important.
Your kids will get a Friendly's Ghostwriter and message decoder absolutely free.
Friendly's, great food and ice cream. So
The Harford Mall opened back in 1972 as Harford County, Maryland's first super-regional enclosed mall. Among over 40 inline tenants and a twin cinemas, the mall would have Corvettes and a Montgomery Ward serving as its senior anchors. It would then undergo a renovation in 1989, which is what you're seeing in this footage right now from 1997. Harford Mall was a neon wonderland back in the day, with an amazing food court and all those dark nooks and crannies that we've come to admire in gray ghosts scattered around the US. This place was always packed, especially during the holidays. Mall rats would roam like zombies through the spicy neon concourses, and mall walkers would get their steps in between shopping jaunts. But Harford Mall gained a bit of weird press in 1993 when a rather sordid video of the mall leaked, causing confusion and concern. I'm about to show you this video, but what people didn't know at the time was that it was produced by the Department of Homeland Security as a training video on handling weaponized chemical agents inside of a shopping mall. The video is also campy as F, and the acting is hilariously bad. But let's watch, and then afterwards we'll jump to 4K footage of the mall that I just shot recently in 2021, along with a deeper dive into the historical narrative. Check this out. It's awesome.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Rob Foster.
And I'm Connie Hathaway. It was a day like any other in quiet suburban Maryland, with temperatures in the 90s. It was a typical hot July day. Many shoppers took refuge from the heat and humidity, escaping to the air-conditioned comfort of Harford Mall, until disaster struck. This footage came from the mall security camera system and shows what police now believe to be the deadly device being planted by an unknown perpetrator. Soon, a busboy clearing tables moved the dripping package from the floor to the top of the trash receptacle. Officials have identified the gas released as sarin, the same deadly chemical used in the Tokyo subway attack in 1995. As we see here, the first victim was 48-year-old Robert Morton.
Connie, there was a camera crew at the mall recording a commercial nearby, and we have been able to obtain the dramatic footage you're about to see from on the scene. We must warn you, this is actual footage from the mall.
From Harford Mall, this is... What up, Steve? Steve, come over here. Look at this. Something going on here. Excuse me. This is Mike with Nothing Much News. What exactly is going on here?
The mall security camera shows that the camera crew soon fell victim to the terrorist's deadly attack. An alert security officer was monitoring the scene back at the security office and had put in a call to 911 shortly after observing Mr. Morton's collapse.
Harford County 911.
Yes, this is Vince Springer. I'm a security guard here at Harford Mall.
Yes, sir.
We may have a medical emergency here.
Okay, and the address there?
Harford Mall in Bel Air.
We now know that what was actually happening was far more sinister. We'll be back in a moment.
Welcome back to the Harford Mall in Bel Air, Maryland, now in 2021. Planning for this mall began back in the early 1970s, and by April 2nd, 1972, construction on Harford County's first major regional shopping center was well underway. The project was being developed by Irving Blum, who was vice president of the Harford County Fair Association, known across their financial records as HC Realty, Inc. The mall, designed by architectural firm T. Rogovoy Associates, Inc., was being built atop the former site of the Bel Air racetrack. The mall was engineered by Matz Childs Associates, and the Whiting Turner Contracting Company served as general contractor. The 500,000 square foot Harford Mall officially opened on the morning of Thursday, October 12, 1972, and had two senior anchors. A beautiful Montgomery Ward, who would occupy the west end of the mall where we are right now, and Corvettes, who would occupy the east end as the second senior anchor. Corvette's was a full-line department store, complete with a ladies' ready-to-wear department, cosmetics, housewares, small appliances, sporting goods, hardware, a snack bar, a tailor shop, and toys and hobby things for kids. There was also an F.W. Woolworth, planted firmly in the center of the mall, taking up the majority of the space in the center concourse, which served as a junior anchor. Then there was a Twin Cinemas, and a Ward's automobile service facility out parcel with a gas island contiguous to the parking areas. There were over 40 inline tenants at grand opening, including Castleberg Jewelry, Walden Books, Zep Photo, Disco Tapes and Records, Fashion Bug, Thrifty Wise Drugs, Tom McCann, and a Pantry Pride. The first general manager for the Harford Mall, Christian Checky, told reporters that he estimated over 150,000 visitors came to the mall on its opening weekend, which was greater than the entire population of Harford County at the time. The mall was a huge success from its first day, but the owners declined to comment on the total cost for the mall, but I'm willing to place it somewhere between $10 and $20 million based on future transactions. But we'll revisit this, keep that in the back of your mind. With the opening of Harford Mall, locals were afraid of the damage that two big department stores and a well-appointed interior mall would do to their local businesses. In an Evening Sun article dated October 16, 1972, speaking on the competition Harford Mall would invite to local businesses, Mrs. Carol Morgan, then owner of the Kitty Shop on Main Street in Bel Air, was quoted saying, quote, "I think it's grand. I'm not worried about it at all. It doesn't take anything from me. We have a great time here at my store. I don't believe this is going to be a dead town." Close quote. Now, when I read this, I heard a tinge of defensiveness. But back then, when malls were beginning their massive expansion throughout the United States, locals were clearly at least thinking about the damage that these malls would do to local mom and pop shops. Back then, locals were seeing the dreadful premonition of dead towns, rather than the modern equivalent of dead malls. It seems history is cyclical, and without a sense of irony. In a 1973 Baltimore Sun article, locals would further lament the dying landscape of farms in Bel Air, with shopping centers now looming over the once abundant farmhouses. The article goes on to reminisce in decades past, when the local community was reliant on these farms in every way. But with the new shopping centers erupting across the town, their fear was that the farm community would be entirely eradicated within just a decade of Harford Mall being built. The head of HC Realty, Irving Blum, died on August 11, 1973 at the age of 58, and the line of succession would put his brother Alvin Blum into the driving seat for retail operations. Alvin worked with the HC Realty team to incorporate their Baltimore Trotting Raceway venture, Fair Lanes Properties, and their retail operations into one new company. And on April 24, 1973, HC Realty and its subsidiaries were absorbed by the newly incorporated BTR Realty, Inc., who became the next owners of Harford Mall. Hochul Cohn announced a new $2 million, 62,000 square foot store on Friday, May 20th, 1977, which was then under construction at the Harford Mall. The new Hochul's opened on Monday, October 10th, 1977. But by the last couple of years, in the 1970s, the Corvette's chain was suffering after a failed rebranding effort, and into 1980, they had declared bankruptcy. Later that year, on December 24th of 1980, all of their remaining stores were shuttered, including the Harford Mall location. On Wednesday, January 7, 1981, plans were announced that Harford Mall was seeking to acquire and renovate the vacant Corvette's building, and won $4.5 million in industrial development revenue bonds for the May Department Stores Company, who was looking to build a new anchor at the mall. Then 1 month later, on Friday, February 27, 1981, the Hecht Company announced that a new 90,000 square foot store would be opening in the vacant Corvettes space at the Harford Mall, joining Montgomery Ward and Hochul Cohn as senior anchors. By Thursday, October 11, 1984, a Hutzler's department store opened at Harford Mall, inviting Hochul Cohn customers to use their charge card, since the company was absorbed by Hutzler's that same year, and credit operations were still being used to generate liquidity and to pay down debt. Just 3 years after opening, Hutzler's was looking to close their Harford Mall location and assign the lease to a Virginia-based Peebles department store. Hutzler's was in serious trouble, with locations shuttering exponentially. BTR opposed this move, citing that Peebles wasn't a conventional tenant for this market, fighting the anchor in court, ultimately canceling Peebles from opening at Harford Mall. If you want to see a gnarly, abandoned Peebles, make sure you go watch ExLog 83, which covers the Stanton Mall down in Virginia, which is now defunct and shuttered entirely. You might as well go watch ExLog 26 too, which covered what's left of the Rehoboth Mall, anchored by a Peebles, which I entered in that episode. But following the closure of the Harrendale Mall Hutzler locations, the Harford Mall location was ultimately closed in 1988, and the mall owners wanted to convert this vacant space into something special. After over a year and a half of construction, between January 18 and January 22, 1989, the grand opening festivities were held at Harford Mall to cut the ribbon on the Courtyard, a gorgeous neon-clad 60,000 square foot food court that replaced the vacant Hutzler's space. Headlining the grand opening ceremonies was Terrell Anthony, better known as Rusty Shane on the television soap opera The Guiding Light. There were Smurfs for the kids, the Wolf Trap Big Band, and a DJ pressing the play button on some dank music from the 1950s. Along with the neon-drenched food court, neon was added throughout the mall, with new skylights providing some much-needed fenestration.
Nice. Looks good.
Perfect.
Look very good.
Looks wonderful, sir.
Okay.
At least it looks a hell of a lot better than the last one. Thank you.
You're welcome. Is that it?
Yep, that's it. Thanks, man. Look me up on YouTube. Make sure to look me up. Subscribe. Yep, thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Newly designed storefronts lined the concourses, accented by various other aesthetic tweaks and amenities, which cost BTR just over $5 million. F. Patrick Hughes, president of BTR Realty, speaking on the project to the Baltimore Sun, simply stated, quote, "We wanted to bring them all into the 90s, close quote. And neon does just that. Neon is 90s. Am I right? The Courtyard was a fantastic new space. And back in Baltimore County, Shopco, the owners at the time for the East Point Mall, decided to do just the same thing as BTR. And they converted their vacant Hutzler's at East Point to their own neon-drenched food court called the Atrium Cafe. East Point was just featured in ExLog 94, so please make sure to check that out and avoid watching ExLog 2 at all costs. On the heels of a successful redevelopment adding the food court in '89, on February 28, 1993, BTR Realty announced a $10 million expansion of the Hecht's department store.
Blows my mind that an actual little person could fit in here to touch these buttons. like a passenger, a kid and a passenger can fit in here.
Later that year, it was announced in the summer of '93 that BTR was about $73 million in debt, struggling to stay afloat. So, on August 20, 1993, the shareholders for BTR Realty overwhelmingly approved measures to convert the company to a REIT, or Real Estate Investment Trust. BTR would be absorbed by Mid-Atlantic Realty Trust, and the initial stock and bond offerings were scheduled to raise between $60 and $100 million, and would serve to pay down the BTR debt. This acquisition would also see Harford Mall pass from one generation to the next.
Every mall has a back storage room with mannequins and Christmas displays.
Alvin Blum, former director at BTR, brother to the late Irving, would hand the Harford Mall to his son Mark P. Blum, entrepreneur and trustee for Mid-Atlantic Realty Trust. Just 4 years later, in 1997, Sony decided not to renew their lease for the twin-screen Harford Mall Cinema, citing a drastic decline in recent ticket sales. After a long battle in and out of bankruptcy court at the turn of the millennium, 1 year later, Montgomery Ward closed its entire chain in 2001. In February, Jericho, New York-based Kimco Realty won the rights to lease or sell leases for all 250 Ward's locations at an auction in U.S. bankruptcy court in Delaware. Sears then acquired 18 former Wards and 10 freestanding Wards auto centers outright in an agreement with Kimco, setting the stage to take over the product service contracts of about 2.4 million former Wards customers, along with acquiring some assets of Ward's national repair business, A&E Signature Service. As vacant Wards were being converted, the Harford Mall would see its defunct anchor developed into a Sears, which had its ribbon-cutting ceremony at 9:45 in the morning, Saturday, March 23, 2002. With this new relationship between Kimco and Sears, you might be able to guess the next moves. Shortly after the Sears opened at Harford Mall, Kimco Realty was looking to expand their retail footprint, mainly in malls that have a vacant Wards or one newly converted to a Sears. So Kimco acquired the entire Mid-Atlantic Realty Trust portfolio for a deal valued at around $444 million, with the ink dry and the deal closed on September 15, 2003, making Kimco the new owners of the Harford Mall. It seems, though, that Kimco became aware of just how much Harford Mall was worth against its actual mortgage, so they put the property up for sale almost immediately after acquiring it. I respect this move a lot, because they incurred debt from Mid-Atlantic Realty to the tune of $19,943,224 in a mortgage that Mid-Atlantic Realty missed so many payments. The problem here was that the 10-year balloon payment was due just 2 months before Kimco bought the mall from Mid-Atlantic Realty. So they were about to default on $18,148,848. So they put it up for sale, knowing full well that the work and money put into this mall has since raised its value significantly and would easily pay the mortgage off. Chattanooga-based CBL & Associates Properties Inc. purchased the Harford Mall from Kimco for a whopping $71 million, netting Kimco an attractive $50 million profit. Jealous, Kohan? Yeah, you're jealous. By summer of 2005, on July 18, Federated Department Stores made it public that they would be acquiring the May Company for $11 billion. With this deal, there were also thousands of jobs at stake, as employees at Hecht's weren't sure if the store would be dissolved or merged with a Federated brand. By September 9, 2006, all Hecht's were closed, with many set, though, to rebrand to the Macy's masthead, which is the direction taken at Harford Mall. Just 1 month later, the Macy's at Harford Mall was open for business just in time for the holiday season. The ribbon cutting for the newly remodeled Harford Mall occurred on Friday, October 12, 2007, which marked the 35th anniversary of the mall. With traditional indoor malls seeming to fail throughout the 1990s and 2000s, and with malls such as Hunt Valley and Westfield Annapolis converting their footprint to a more hybrid outdoor lifestyle center, CBL chose to take Harford Mall in a similar direction. The neon was removed completely, as was the entire courtyard food court. The movie theater was removed, and the mall was repositioned into essentially an H format with a long concourse in the center that led to a new set of outward-facing eateries, such as Bonefish Grill, Five Guys, and Qdoba Mexican Grill. The mall was redesigned purposefully for people to come and eat without having to enter the mall, which doesn't make much sense to me. They even had an issue with those pagers you get while waiting for a seat at Bonefish Grill, where the beepers wouldn't work if you went too far into the mall. I don't think I agree with the move to take the food court out of the mall and to put it outside the mall, because people aren't going to come into the mall. I would much prefer to eat inside the mall. And talking about all that food, that made me pretty hungry. And there's a Friendly's in here, and I haven't been to a Friendly's in who knows how long. As a matter of fact, I have family members that are banned from Friendly's in the entire state of New Jersey, but I'm not.
Just one.
Follow me.
Thanks.
So let's go inside this Friendly's and get a burger.
Can we go further back?
Yeah, just pick it up, sit where you want. Where can I get you a drink?
Coke? Actually, can I take that booth back there? I gotta do some emails. Thank you so much. Yep, that's the one. This French dip burger? Go straight for that. Yeah, please.
Okay.
Thank you, miss.
You are so welcome.
Thank you, sir. You're welcome. Awesome. Thank you. So the bread is really nicely toasted. Caramelized onions, Swiss cheese, really well seasoned patty. Really great. Dip it. Take a bite. One bite. Everybody knows the rules. French dip. Melt. French patty. French something. One bite. Everybody knows the rules. So the Boskov burger was 7 or 8, probably 8.2. I'm just going to retroactively score the Boskov burger an 8.2. I'm going to give this, it's good. One bite. So it's on ciabatta. Got a patty, sauteed onions, Swiss, and I think there's like these cheese crisps or something underneath the patty. French fries are very good. And there's an au jus that comes alongside of it. Yeah, there's definitely cheese crisps under there. Delicious. One bite. Everybody knows the rules. One bite. Everybody knows the rules. One bite. This beats the Boscov burger. I believe I retroactively scored the Boscov burger in 8-2. This is the new king. 9-3. This is a 9-3. Beautiful burger. Fries are good. Coke is really carbonated. Really good. 9-3. Hands down. Best mall burger yet. One bite. Everybody knows the rules. I don't really know the scale for ice cream. I'm not an ice cream guy, but it's good. I like mint chocolate chip. They put a bunch of other stuff on it, so it's like a sundae. This is an ice cream sundae. I can't eat any more of this, but I'll score it. I don't know how to score ice cream. 5-4. Maybe that's not fair, but it's 5-4. It's good. Real sweet though. Can't do it. It's good though. Everything checks out here. Everything's good. Sweet.
They completely inverted the layout with the most recent renovation. They sterilized the aesthetic language with muted earth tones, flat lighting, and generic-looking artwork that seems way too contrived and boring. The place looks like it was designed by the love child of Thomas Kincaid and the owner of some oceanfront tourist shop from Ocean City, Maryland. And the way that it was redeveloped back in 2007 is exactly how it looks today. Through the 2010s, really nothing happened at the Harford Mall. When I showed up with my GoPro shake weight cam in 2017, I was just so bored with the footage, and I didn't really have a grasp on my research and storytelling abilities yet, and I decided to just shelf what I shot. A couple of years later, in 2019, Sears announced liquidation sales through mid-December, ultimately closing the location here in February of 2020. By March of 2020, the world was beginning to fall apart and the grease fire was alight. And COVID would close the Harford Mall temporarily, just like countless other malls. Thankfully though, malls and local businesses started to open back up. But Harford Mall had drastically fewer tenants now, in my opinion, as a direct result of losing Sears and the huge emphasis CBL placed on the new restaurant portion of the mall, which saw its traffic tank through the pandemic and would never serve to generate organic growth inside the mall. Sure, some of these places were probably delivering food through the pandemic, which a lot of restaurants did, but it did the interior of the mall no favors, especially with the closure of Sears just before it. When I showed up again in 2021, it was clear that the mall had fallen to, or probably below, 50% occupancy. But the place just looked exactly like I saw it in 2017, just with a few more cobwebs. As for the future of the vacant Sears space, my hopes really aren't high. Throughout producing my series, I'm not sure if I've ever seen a shuttered Sears space successfully converted to something other than storage. But the most recent news for the Harford Mall Sears location came out of a May 6, 2021 Planning Commission meeting for the city of Bel Air. The minutes laid out show that Transform Operations LLC holds the lease to the former Sears, and in conjunction with CBL, they're looking to demolish the structure completely. They're going to raise it, make it pad ready. And they want to bring an outdoor lifestyle venue to the mall. Their proposal is called the Shops at Harford Mall, with outdoor patio eating and exterior shops. They're also looking to get the parcel in a subdivision of the existing mall and to build out the parking lot to maximize their space. They want to separate their new design from the Harford Mall. I think that could be a good use for the space, and I think the locals would dig it, I really do. But I'm not too sure that it would help the mall itself. I don't think that taking a location out of the mall and pushing it to a new subdivision would bring traffic inside this mall. But there's been no further development on the Shops at Harford Mall. But it does seem the owners are trying to demolish that vacant Sears to make something fresh. And if any of you are local and you hear news before I post something on social media, please let me know in my comments or Twitter or Instagram, or hit me up on Discord. Again, links for everything are down below. Oh god, the perimeter walks. Sal, nobody clicked on a Harford Mall video to watch a perimeter walk. Make it quick, dude.
That's sketchy.
No, it's not, Sal. You're sketchy. You're the sketchy one walking around this abandoned place that's not open. You're the sketchy one. People are looking at you walking around here. They think you're sketchy.
Oh, it's just a bank.
Yep, it's a bank.
It used to be a bank.
True. Very clearly, it used to be a bank. Look at the drive-through window. Come on, dude. I guarantee that nobody clicked on this video for Harford Mall and wanted to see empty cans of Bud Ice and a perimeter walk with you mumbling into the camera. Come on, Sal. Let's go. That's it. That's it. There you go. There's the mall. Oh, God, the camera work here. Right into the sun. Yeah, point that lens right into the sun, dude. Scorsese would hire you in a second to fetch coffee. All right, Sal. We're done with this. Can we please go back across the street? Just go. Just go back across the street. Please, just go look at the mall. Oh, thank God. Just like the East Point Mall, I was here at the Harford Mall on my very first day filming for the Expedition Log series back in 2017. I was bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and full of purpose. But that GoPro shake weight footage was miserable. You'll actually see some of that in just a moment. But this episode brings an end to the wrongs I had to right from the beginning of my series, or at least I think so. I'm sure somebody else will say something. I am glad, though, that I sat on this footage and gave myself a chance to mature a bit before visiting the Harford Mall again, because these days, despite its bland earth tones, I really do dig this place. It feels like a suburban Pennsylvania mall, just 20 minutes outside of Baltimore City. It's like an infant gray ghost, and I'll definitely be back soon to loom over the concourses and to inhale another French dip burger.
So the Harford Mall. When I first visited in 2017, it was just boring to me. There was really nothing going on. The occupancy was pretty good, and overall I just thought it was a boring mall, and it's really not the most exciting. It's not Richland Mall, it's not Century 3, it's not Gwinnett Place, it's not Schuylkill, but it serves a purpose, and it's not bad. The Sears is now closed. I don't know if I've ever seen a Sears become reoccupied other than like a Spirit Halloween or something. I don't really know what they're gonna do at this spot. But there's a lot of vacancies in this mall now. A lot of vacancies. Luckily, the Friendlies is still there. But this mall is awesome. And I love it. I think it's a great mall. I've always chastised this mall. This mall has been at the bottom of my list since day one. I have hope that this place is gonna fill that Sears, because it really is a great little mall. And I like it. I feel like this mall has redeemed itself in my eyes. Let's close out. Here's some drone footage.
I'd like to thank all of you for watching my video. Producing this episode has reignited my mall rat furnace, and back in 2017, if you told me that I would spend a few hours here at Harford Mall, and that I would have a great time while capturing some sick footage, I'd say you're nuts. But these days, I'm growing more of an appreciation for my local malls because they need us. They need us to stay open, and if we don't give them attention, they're gonna suffer. So visit your local mall and get something to eat. Tell them Uncle Sal sent you. Thanks especially to my patrons and elite explorers who support me directly. The cash you guys throw at me goes right back into this series, and it lets me do some really cool stuff to film for all of you. I've got some incredible footage coming up down the line, and just a bit more unfinished business to attend to as we wind down the Phase 4 epoch of the Expedition Log series. Episode 100 is coming very soon, and I might just start releasing teasers on my social media, so make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. My handle for both of those is @SalvatoreAmadeo, and you can also find me on Facebook and Discord. To join the Dead Malls of Discord server, just head to discord.gg/dmod and check in with a mod in the Moderator's Ears channel. Once you get your role, you'll be able to see all of the server. But keep in mind, when you do join the server, you're not going to see anything. So don't leave right away. Make sure you check in to get your role, and then you'll be able to see everything. Links for all of my social media are down below and in every one of my YouTube video descriptions. Please stay tuned for ExLog 96, which is coming very, very soon. But until then, stay safe and healthy out there. Take care of yourselves, and have a fantastic day.
But here's one for Mom and Dad. The $1.99 kids meal deal.
This beats the Boss Cog burger. I believe I retroactively scored the Boss Cog burger in 8.2. This is the new king, 9.3.